And of course, the most important exercise you can do with this variant,
pumping the guns. Yeah.
So Monologues, so here's another DIY video, sort of unplanned, but it came to fruition relatively quickly. Thank you for joining another edition of Jumper's Smashbox Monologues. So I know those of you in America are pretty spoiled for product choice, and one product I saw which I thought was pretty cool was the Spud Econo lat pull down tricep extension device. Sells for about 85 to 99 US. Obviously we've got no suppliers stocking Spud over here. So started thinking about how could I make it, and if I could make it, could I make it for under 85 US? I'm in New Zealand, so I wouldn't pay in US dollars. But you get my drift. I'm happy to say that I did achieve that result. Total cost $55 New Zealand, which is probably about $7.50 US. It's not that bad. So yeah, let's see it in action. Okay, so for your DIY tricep push down, that's what you need: cable, which is probably the hardest thing to come across, pulley obviously, carabiners, tie downs, weight plates obviously, and lifting straps. So the most probably difficult part to acquire would be the cable itself. I was able to get mine off the equivalent of eBay over here, Trade Me. Guy sells these cables, and he actually did that for me as well at each end. So he put those little loops in it and crimped it. I asked for a 2 meter length, and did it for me. So it was $35 all up, including postage. Pretty happy with that. This morning went out and got myself a pulley. This was $10 from a hardware store. What I needed for this pulley to have is it swivels, which is handy. And this little pin comes out and the wheel comes out, which is important to actually feed the end through, because that won't actually come out, which is handy when you're operating it. Now this is secured through a tie down, or a strop as we call them. That's just top of my squat rack. It's probably, well, you can work out how tall that is. I'm 6'4.5", 6'7" in high heels, and that's the height I've got it at. So as I said, the length of the cable is 2 meters. Next step is extremely easy. Use the weights you're going to use. You've got a 15 kg metal plate there. Put your second strop, feed it through there. With the bumpers, you're obviously just going to be able to feeding it through the collar hole. Put your strop on there, and then one hand, feed that through there. That's your weights. I've got the rubber plate underneath this, just in case you're wondering, just so when this falls, I'm not denting the ply. Not that it's a major, but we try and keep it beautiful. Now if I can do this with one hand, which looks to be a challenge. Olé! That's secured there. That's our weights. Runs through up to the cable, the other end, feed the other carabiner through. Now comes the fun part. So, lifting straps. The reason I used these lifting straps was because I had them already, and the sole purpose of this project was to be making it as effectively and cheaply as possible. So these just clip through the carabiner as so. I'm actually going to need 2 hands for this. And then we have the lifting straps through the top carabiner there. We'll show you in action in just a second. So I had to buy the strops. They were pretty cheap actually. They were 2 for $8 I think, but they're actually rated for 200 kilos. Now that's pretty good, because in a gym you might have quite a bit of weight with a lat pull down or tricep push down. You're actually limited the weight you can have, because there's nothing to push against here as such, and so you can't push down more than your body weight, because Sir Isaac Newton would have a fit. Cool. Also of note, I mentioned just before, part of this project was to do it as cheaply as possible. Carabiners, I actually had in my harness that we John and I were using for, that's it all there, for the sled. So for sled pulls, sled rigs, I bought the harness a while ago. It actually dawned on me that I had the carabiners there, so that was brilliant. However, I actually looked in my garden shed today and found out that I had another carabiner. So if you're doing this project, check your garden shed, because you might find useful items. So just to show you how the straps I'm using, excuse the awesome camera angle, that's it there. So I fed my wrist through, and I'm just grabbing on the spare strap there, and you'll see further soon. I'll try a couple different angles here, and you can see the different variations on the exercise you can do. So there's your tricep extensions right there. A little bit of play with the weight obviously swinging around. However, it's got a bit of room to move inside that squat rack, so not really a drama as such. And bobs your ankle, just like I bought one. Obviously the variants, tricep overheads. Textbook. Straight out of a textbook. And then of course the variants, you row sort of lat pull down, depending on your angle. And I've seen Leo Pando on his YouTube channel. You can use your feet against the edge of the squat rack there for a bit of a row there, or right at the top of the cable there. But it still gets a nice squeeze in the back there. And of course, when I'm done using it, the strop stays done up, probably just tucked out of the way. The cable just sort of tucked over to the side of the squat rack, so it's not in use. My other strops hanging up there, and of course the plates go back where they belong, either properly on the side of the half rack or stacked in a bunch untidily. Boom. So I've had a late addition to the tricep cable DIY project here. Haven't got a chance to put this whole video together during the week, and in that time saw a tricep rope extension on website, auction website, brand new, $8. Could not make. I was using my straps before, and this looks pretty legit. So it clipped on, $8. Can't go wrong. So I'm going to break down the costs. We've got $35 for the cable, plus $10 for the pulley, plus $8 for 2 of those strops, plus $8 for the cable extension, equals this amount. So still well under budget. Pretty happy with that. I'll just try out this new doohickey. That's good.